The Dominica Police Force is reporting its biggest firearm raid for 2016. We bring you scenes from the Youth Skills Training Program Open Day in Roseau, and the first Yachtie Appreciation Week kicks off. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna, Hector.
And I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after the break.
Destroying mosquito breeding sites. The Aedes aegypti mosquito that causes dengue fever, chikungunya and Zika lives in and around homes and places where people gather. Check your premises on a weekly basis for any collection of water, inside and outside, that may encourage breeding of mosquitoes. Here's a checklist to help you search and destroy mosquito breeding sites. Empty or cover up all water containers, especially plastic buckets and drums. Clean up discarded containers, plastic bags and coconut shells. Get rid of tires or use them to plant flowers. Empty and clean containers used by pets. Throw away water in plant saucers and dish drainers. Use wet sand in flower vases instead of water. Clean your roof gutters and drains. Spread oil on pools of water. Cover and seal septic tanks, soakaways and water storage tanks. Fill concrete block holes with sand or concrete. Ensure all manholes are properly sealed. Ensure that all drum covers fit securely. Punch holes in cans before disposing. Help keep Dominica clean and healthy. Stop breeding mosquito today. Keep Zika away.
Thanks for staying with us. The Banana Accompanying Measures Program, BAM, has secured funding for the rehabilitation of 10 more feeder roads. BAM is a support package for a number of banana exporting countries in the Caribbean, assisting in the facilitation of a new trading environment in these countries. In an interview with GIS News, National Authorizing Officer of the European Development Fund, which executes the BAM project, Colin Roberts, gave details about these projects.
Everybody is interested in the BAM program, and particularly the feeder road component. That component of the BAM is over half of the entire funding for the BAM. It's critical because the farmers need access to their farms as well to produce, and as well from their farms to take their produce to market. So we have a tender out, an international tender out for 3 lots, where the 10 feeder roads to be targeted for rehabilitation under the BAM has been presented. So yesterday, Monday, and today, Tuesday, and again tomorrow, Wednesday, we have site visits. So the potential tenderers are actually on site, checking the actual conditions on site, as well as reviewing the bills of quantities, the designs, the drawings. And hopefully by the end of March, we should have all tenders in, so that we can award 3 works contracts, so that the 10 feeder roads that were prioritized by the Ministries of Agriculture and Public Works will be able to be rehabilitated in the shortest possible time.
Robert says BAM has been encouraging the growth of the Caribbean region in varied ways.
People need to understand really in terms of the processes that we must undergo before we can. It's not simply that there's 15.27 million euros available and next day you can just go in to cash a check. It's not that way. We have tender procedures, the EU tender procedures that we have to follow for supplies, for works, for services. So we have 6 key components under the BAM. We have infrastructure, we have information, we have entrepreneurship, we have technological development and innovation, we have standards of quality. And each under these, actually in an evaluation recently, we were told that we were very ambitious in terms of what we wanted to do under the BAM. There were 20 major interventions that we wanted to target under the BAM. Really and truly a very tall order.
She knows that the finances allotted for the rehabilitation of the feeder roads have to be processed in a suitable manner before work commences.
The feeder roads, for example, it's not simply that we can just go out to tender or just award a contract. We had to do surveys. Then we had to even review the surveys post-Tropical Storm Erica, because things changed drastically. Then we have to have bills of quantities drawn up. We have to have designs and making sure that the mitigation measures are in place. So let's say another tropical storm were to affect us, the roads not be damaged in the same way that they had been damaged during Erica. So really and truly, and then we have to have the processes in terms of the EU processes to make sure in terms of approval, because it's the European Union providing grant funding again to us for that. So they have to have their checks and balances to make sure that all the procedures are done correctly, all the information that we would require is accurate, and then we can go out to tender.
The 10 roads to be addressed are the Mango Gutter Road, Frayal Road, T Grand 4 Road, Mill Ridge Road, Bois Bellevue Road, Montine Road, Syndicate Road, Colliho Road, Melville Hall Road, and the Mero Salisbury Road.
The Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, Ian Douglas, has announced that the operations of 2 multi-purpose park houses will commence soon. He was speaking at the launch of 2 important trade-related projects funded by the Caribbean Development Bank at the Fortune Hotel on Wednesday. Douglas expects the 2 multi-purpose park houses to boost Dominica's economic activity.
The operationalization of and management of 2 fresh packing multi-purpose houses, called pack houses, which is being administered by Dexia, will stimulate the growth in the agricultural sector and will complement the goals outlined in the National Export Strategy. You have heard us speaking a lot about those pack houses, and so it is expected that the operations of the pack houses will come on stream pretty soon, certainly before the end of the budgetary year. These pack houses are expected to provide certifiable fresh produce, efficient handling, packaging, and storage facilities that will enable all produce handled by the operations of those pack houses to be fully compliant with the requirements of all markets, especially the markets that are close by, regionally and internationally.
The minister says Dominica continues to work on ensuring quality produce for the export market.
The market support program will address issues related to the in-market support programs, redesign and production of packaging materials for export, thereby enhancing the appeal of Dominican fresh produce and other products on the regional and international markets. Dexia is currently in the process of recruiting a full complement of staff, and we are well on our way to doing that for the pack houses in Roseau and in Portsmouth. We have signed contracts to renovate those pack houses because we had some small renovation works to do to both pack houses, and that is in fact ongoing as we speak. And also a contract has been signed for the procurement of equipment. These pieces of equipment are in fact actually on island here right now and have been cleared from the customs, and we hope that we can install those pieces of equipment very soon. And also we expect to have those pack houses really up and running in earnest, like I said, before the end of the financial year.
Honorable Douglas noted that the Park House program is being implemented in sync with the crops identified in the National Export Strategy and is being produced under contractual agreement with farmers.
And so it is my hope that as we strive towards the development of these important sectors, not only in trade, but like I said, in agriculture and in manufacturing too, and also as we seek to enhance the trading environment through these projects, it is my fervent hope that we will certainly meet our objectives of enhancing the overall economic climate in Dominica.
And the Dominica Police Force Drug Squad, Task Force and SSU have recovered what they call their biggest firearm raid for 2016 so far. At a press conference on Monday, February 22nd, Inspector John Carbon, head of the Drug Squad unit, shared the results of the most recent police operation, which took place on Saturday, February 20th in the community of Silver Lake.
Members of the Drug Squad, the SSU and the Task Force conducted an operation in the Silver Lake area which resulted in the following seizures of cocaine, cannabis, firearms, and ammunition. These items were discovered in a locked room of the Silver Lake Public Convenience. One AK-47 rifle, one Uzi submachine gun, two 9mm pistols, 24 rounds of 40 caliber ammunition, 30 rounds of 9mm ammunition, one magazine for an AK-47 rifle, one magazine for an Uzi submachine gun, 3 magazines for 9mm pistol, 2.135 kilogram of cocaine with an estimated street value of $57,000, 2.043 kilograms of cannabis, value $4,500.
Head of Central Operations, Assistant Superintendent Richmond Valentine, says the control of firearms has been a key priority for the police.
Over the years, the circulation of illegal firearms in the country has been of major concern to the government and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. When the Firearms Act number 3 of 2011 was enacted, provisions were made for increased fines and stiffer penalties. And government continues to provide resources which directly influence the efforts of the police towards the removal of firearms from the streets. In 2010, the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force established the task force, whose mandate, among other functions, were to conduct operations geared at intercepting illegal firearms and apprehending their owners. I'm pleased to report that we have realized significant success in that regard.
He says the irresponsible behavior towards these firearms will not go unpunished by the police.
We have noticed that owners of illegal firearms are becoming more brazen as they engage in irresponsible and callous behavior involving the use of those firearms. From a police standpoint, we cannot and will not allow such irresponsible behavior by a few within our communities to continue to thrive. I would like to reassure the public that the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force will continue to develop strategies and implement programs geared at maintaining a peaceful, safe, and secure environment for our citizens and visitors to enjoy.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Welcome back. As part of initiatives to develop the yachting industry in Dominica, the Ministry of Tourism has partnered with the Portsmouth Association of Yachting Services, or PAYS, and Offshore Passage Opportunities to host the Yachtie Appreciation Week 2016. Hank Schmidt, president of Offshore Passages Opportunities, said at the event launching at the Cabritz National Park that this activity was created to promote awareness of Dominica's yachting sector.
We came up with this idea a year ago to help Portsmouth and the PAYS group, who are organized to offer an invitation and to Portsmouth to help visiting yachters come here and have a secure mooring and spend time visiting the beautiful island of Dominica.
$24,000 was raised by Schmidt and his organization for materials to establish a new mooring field in Portsmouth.
And why that is important is because in places like the BVI, where people fly in and spend a week and just sail from beach bar to beach bar and look at their boat, Dominica has so much more to offer. So a visiting yachty wants to know that he has not only a secure mooring to tie to, but also the security that there'll be no problems or issues with their boat. Because unlike BVI, where you're sailing and just looking at your boat, here you want to leave your boat on a secure mooring and go visit the island and see the many wonders, the Trafalgar Falls, the Emerald Pool, the Indian Reservation, the Indian River. All of these nice tourist attractions that a boat owner will not leave if he doesn't know that his boat is going to be secure. Also recently, the last couple of years, the holding ground in many ports in the Caribbean, as well as Dominica, They have an invasive seagrass, which makes it more difficult to anchor, which makes a new mooring field and secure moorings all that more important. They're not only good for the environment, that we're not dropping anchors and digging up the bottom, but that we're also being able to add more moorings in a smaller area. Now, we don't want people to think that because we have a new mooring field that there isn't room for the visiting yachtie that might be on his boat full-time and not have the time or the money to pay for a mooring. Everyone is welcome to come, visit the island, sign up for tours or not, pay for a mooring or not, and we just want you to come and enjoy the lovely island of Dominica.
CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority and Director of Tourism, Colin Piper, says the DDA is happy to be collaborating for this event aimed at increasing the island's yachtie population.
DDA is pleased to be part of the inaugural Yachtie Appreciation Week. We know the yachting industry has a significant role to play in economic activity, and this year we have over 15 yachts and over 100 people as part of this Appreciation Week. And the feeling is that because of the success of it, that the goal is to try to increase up to 3 times as many yachts next year.
He sees ensuing success.
We are hoping that this becomes an annual activity on the calendar. I continue to call yachting the silent economy because it contributes quite a bit to the economy in terms of services that some of the, what we call the boaties, will provide to the yachties. And it also creates lasting relationships. A lot of one-on-one marketing happens, a lot of one-to-one word-of-mouth selling happens. Once yachties experience things in Dominica, when they go out there, they convince other yachties to come here. And some of those yachties stay for weeks and stay for months and come back time after time.
Joan Conover of the Seven Seas Cruising Association presented a burgee, a distinguishing flag of boating organization, to the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Senator Robert Tongue.
I'm a volunteer that works with PAYS in Dominica, in the hopes that we'll encourage more cruisers to come down to this wonderful community. We're presenting a burgee to Dominica to be flown with both PAYS and with the Dominican Marine Association. Our group works with PAYS and with the Dominican Marine Association to help during emergencies such as the hurricane you just had. We sent Tropical Storm Erica. We sent down boats, quite a few boats. We got out the word, and that's one thing we do, is get out the word and try to help the communities that we love so much in Dominica.
The Honorable Minister expressed his gratitude for the support.
On behalf of the Dominica Marine Association, on behalf of the people of Dominica, I want to say thank you very much to the organization for reaching out after Tropical Storm Erica and assisting us in our time of need. Thank you very, very much, and we truly appreciate your assistance.
Martin Carrere is Secretary of PAYS.
It's very historical to see the people come to Dominica and enjoy themselves. I think it's a very wonderful thing. And the PAYS group is doing quite a lot in terms of marketing and promotion and giving the people a very unique experience so that they can spread that good word, so that we can have more people coming to visit Dominica, which is the most unique destination.
In other news, last week the Child Abuse Prevention Unit launched Keeping My Body Safe as part of the unit's continued efforts to heighten awareness about child abuse in Dominica. At the book launch, illustrator Errol Evelyn stated his belief that the book was created with the intention to empower children.
This book is intended to give children, to empower children. By merely possessing this book, the child has the power to deal with certain situations that he or she would not be in a position to deal with otherwise. That is the importance of it. And also, there's an additional power. It is my hope, and I believe with God's hand behind it, the possession of the book must deter perpetrators or potential perpetrators from targeting children who have this book. It is my hope that anyone with abuse on their minds who knows that the child they intend to abuse has access to that book will think once, think twice, and ultimately decide not to target that child.
Child Abuse Prevention Unit Coordinator Gemma Azil Luce says the book is also all-inclusive.
So the book covers not only child abuse, because it does cover child abuse, the different forms of child abuse, but it also speaks to the safe and unsafe touches. It speaks to the safe and unsafe secrets. It speaks to bullying, who are strangers, how a child can protect themselves from abuse, who should they report to. It also includes a puzzle for the children because, of course, as we said, it is a book that is child-friendly. So we have to put something in it that the children can also look forward to reading and to being actively involved in.
She gave some statistics on child abuse in Dominica.
Child abuse continues to be a growing problem. It is a matter of grave concern. As Lisa said earlier on, one child abuse is one too many. For instance, when we look at the statistics for 2015, we see that our children continues to be abused in the different forms. So for instance, in 2015, we had a total of 189 cases reported of child abuse. And out of that 189, 128 of these were sexual related matters. 73 cases out of this 189 were children within the ages of 0 to 10 years. So it shows that our children as young as babies are being abused. Some are neglected, some are abandoned, some are physically abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, and some children also suffer from more than one form of abuse. So you find sometimes a child is sexually abused and they are also being physically abused. We should be concerned about that. If we look at the past 5 years, we look at 2010 to 2015, we see that in total we have had 1,095 reported cases of child abuse in Dominica. I think this is too much. For a country like ours, with our population, this is too much.
The Child Abuse Prevention Coordinator calls for collaboration from all sectors for the care and protection of the nation's children.
It is all well and good to say that our children are our future. It's good to say that. But if we do not do what is right, or what is best, or what is fitting for the care and protection of our children, now what kind of future are we going to have? We cannot continue to turn a blind eye to the pain that our children have gone through and are going through because of child abuse. It is a matter of national importance, and I firmly believe that if all sectors we come together, we work together with one focus, and while making available all the necessary resources to combat the societal ill, we can help save our nation's children. And you who are here, I urge you to continue to support the campaign against violence against children.
Last Friday, February 19th, the Youth Skills Training Program of the Youth Division opened up its training centers to the public and our cameras for an open day exhibition. The Youth Skills Training Program was introduced in the 80s right after Hurricane David to teach out-of-school and unemployed youth marketable skills for their own development. Every year at the youth centers island-wide, the students and facilitators show their work in several fields, including small engine repair, auto mechanics, bricklaying, plumbing, agriculture, construction, hospitality, computer skills, electricity and electronics, hairstyling, barbering, furniture making, leather work, and the list goes on. Last Friday, GIS News visited these centers to bring you a look at what the Youth Development Division is doing for the development of the island's youth. In Roseau, trainees have been for the past 4 months learning woodwork and life skills. According to the Chief Youth Development Officer, John Roach, the start of the program was delayed from September to November since the building was home to some of those displaced by Tropical Storm Erica. Nevertheless, he says classes began and the impact cannot be downplayed.
The life skills program and the youth skills program, these are second chance programs for young people. These programs target what we refer to as at risk. I mean, we know all our young people are at risk, but at-risk young people, and sometimes we say hard-to-reach young people, and young people who deserve a second chance, young people who may not have done very well at primary or secondary school, and young people who have tremendous potential. And if we do not intervene in their lives at that stage of their development, you can imagine what can happen to them. So these are two very important programs, and I'm happy that the government of Dominica continues to invest in those programs, and the Youth Development Division continues to place a lot of emphasis on these programs and to ensure that we have young people who are well formed, who are ready to face society.
He adds that the skills training program also aims to engender self-esteem and interactive skills.
I can tell you that these programs have produce some very good young people who, if you go to the various sectors, you would find them there performing and making themselves proud and their families proud.
Kishan John Lewis of Sufria is part of the woodwork class.
The woodwork is very challenging for me, especially. I'm a little bit slow in the woodwork, but as I have some teachers helping me out. They're trying to make me focus on it, make me build myself. Every time I try to do something, I try my best to do something. There was a very intelligent teacher there. I'm impressed with him because he never gave up on me.
We'll bring you scenes from the Castle Bruce Open Day in Tuesday's newscast. And that's news. McPherson said Luce is up next with Creole Highlights.
Hello tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non moi c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt qui attendait cérémonie de graduation en université en India mardi. Premier ministre Skerritt invité pour adresser cérémonie commencement Lovely Professional University en Punjab, India. C'est étudiant Université Salam qui connaît plus contre Dominique pendant temps Premier ministre Skerritt qui parlait et puis Université Salam c'est plus grand en India et puis 30 000 étudiants, 4 000 teachers et puis 200 programmes académiques. Premier ministre a sélecté pour attendre la cérémonie là, pour dédication et puis conseil qui chef pays qui plus jeune, qui travaille plus long en pays démocratique ou la terre. Honorable Skerritt qui recevait Doctor of Literature Honors, Hard Institution là. Honorable Skerritt qui aussi tient discussion et puis officier université là. Et qui aussi tient discussion pour voir si l'université là, ça bâtit un campus en Dominique. Premier ministre Skerritt qui aussi voyagé Dubaï, United Arab Emirates, où là il joint et puis Moon Business et spécialement, ça qui a engagé en plusieurs projets infrastructure qui pour commencer en Dominique tout de suite. Ministre pour jeunesse, Honorable Justin Charles, qui a une position comme premier ministre. Et puis finalement, police Dominique a fait report en gros opération où là il a découvert bagaille physique, drogue et ammunition. Police créé conférence média aujourd'hui, où là il fait report ailleurs.
Well, police pas stop le travail. Si même qui passe dans Silver Lake, on tape cool wash. On l'homme parler à la radio, il dit on l'habitant, mais ça pas arrêter police. Si nous arrêter, dans le métier un problème. So nous savons nous regarder pour, je dis nous va montrer dans le métier, ça nous veut aller chez le faire. Et bien je dis nous va montrer dans le métier, ça c'est le tenir. C'est pourquoi nous wash des polices. Mais nous voyons là, nous pas payé pour le wash. Et nous tapons sans nous regarder pour Silver Lake.
Report qu'a montré ces bagages là, police découvert Adam en l'occasion en Silver Lake. Selon officier relations publiques Pelham John Baptiste, police qui continue à faire travail ailleurs pour protéger le public là.
Ça c'est quelque chose qui est très mauvais pour Dominique. Nous, police, nous pas payé. Nous ne pouvons pas travailler. Mais nous payons pour le monde Dominique. Parce que là où on est fait comme ça, où ça fait n'importe bité. Fusil c'est pas mab. C'est pas un petit tape. Fusil c'est l'amour. Et avec fusil ça pour l'eau là, l'eau mon yon bas. Ça prend combien de temps? So là où est fusil comme ça en la main. Moun qui pas police et ben soldat. On nous paye. Donc pour changer c'est ça nous va faire c'est pour yo, on va faire pour nous. À nous montrer dans allons carrément wawan. Nous allons en communauté faire travail, c'est pas parce que nous haïssons monde là qui là, c'est parce que nous savons une information qu'en place ça là, nous aller là, l'année bitin qui pas supposé là, qui moun ça servi pour tuer Dominicien. Avec travail nous, c'est pour que Dominicien. Yo ça parler, nous pour parler. Si nous pas faire bon, yo que parler quand nous travailler pas Dominicien. Mais là nous allons faire travail non. Là vous écoutez roche de la police. Ça au café. Ou ka basser moun ça là qui c'est fini ça là. Power.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous faire créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Louis. Au revoir.
Coming up next are some uses of essential oils.
Use essential oils as a natural way to infuse your home with great scents while reducing your use of harmful chemicals. For example, lemon oil and tea tree oil together with warm water make an excellent disinfectant.
And eliminate shower curtain scum with a few drops of eucalyptus oil, tea tree oil, and warm water. These oils have a natural mold-killing action.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Louis.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.